Oh, night owls. Welcome back to another episode of Adults After Dark, where the night slows down and real conversations begin. No filters, no judgment, just grown talk and open minds. Remember, this is a grown folks audio conversation and no one under 21 should be listening. This is a judgment-free zone and we must respect one another. You never know, you may just help someone who has been silent in their struggles. With that being said, grab your drink, put on your headphones, and let the world fade into the night. Tonight we're talking about what does emotional safety look like when you've been hurt? What does emotional safety look like when you've been hurt? That's a good question. That is a very good question. So, you ever notice how once you've been through enough, the trust starts to feel like a luxury item? We all say we want honesty. We all say we want peace. We all want someone, to understand us. But after you've been betrayed and disappointed and hurt and taken for granted, all that stuff hits different. It hits very different. I mean, after all of that, you kind of looking at your next relationship side-eyed. I know I do. But when emotional safety breaks, it's not loud. It's not loud. It's quiet. And it's very quiet. And it's the overthinking. It's the half-sent text. The, yeah, I'm good, when you're really not. You start to realize it's not just about who hurt you or why they hurt you or any of that. It's about what you learn from it. How did you survive it? How did you overcome it? What steps did you take to get to where you are to overcome the betrayal and the disappointment and the hurt and all of the things that comes with that? Some people become hard as a rock. They become a stone. They become a shadow. They stay busy just to avoid sitting long enough to think about it and realize what's really going on. They're busy with work. They're busy with the children. They're busy with running businesses, but in the back of their mind, it's still there. So I think that staying busy really doesn't help, because you will eventually sit down and take a breather. And even if you're laying in the bed about to go to sleep, it hits you. The hurt, the betrayal, the everything, the disappointment it hits you. And then again, you start back to think about it, even though that you're trying to not. But like I said, once you slow down and relax, it's there. That's just like someone drinking or doing illicit drugs to get rid of their problems. Once they come down off the intoxication, the problem still exists. So I think a lot of people wear shields. They wear like armor, like body armor, and they say, they call it independence. But have you ever felt how heavy armor really is? I never have, but I can imagine it's pretty darn heavy. It keeps the danger out. It keeps people from hurting you. Just like the medieval. They wear armor to protect themselves, and I think that's what a lot of people do. It keeps the warmth out. It keeps a potential friend or lover out as well. So you really have to ask yourself, what does your armor look like these days? What has hurt you that you have to wear this heavy shield on you? The silence, the sarcasm, keeping everything at arm's length. Let me know down in the comments if you're aware that you wear armor, or you believe that you're wearing armor to be protected from all of the hurt and the anger and the disappointment and everything that comes with a relationship. Is there a crack in the wall? Let me know. Comment down below and let me know. So, rebuilding emotional safety, it isn't glamorous at all. It's quiet work. It's a lot of work. And you have to rebuild your emotional safety with yourself first. It's unlearning your old reflexes. It's not assuming every hey comes with hidden motives. Now, with this armor on, that's the first thing we think of. I'm not dropping my guard because you on some BS, and I'm not with the BS anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's also realizing that people can't read minds, and that setting boundaries doesn't make you hard. It makes you healthy. Now, it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say, hey, I've been through this. I'm not dealing with this anymore. But the thing with that is you cannot take your past aggressions into your new relationship. You can't say, well, I've been through this before. This person done this to me, and I'm going to keep my guards up because I know I'm going to get that again. We can't always think like that. Now, it may happen that way, but we hope that it doesn't. So I understand keeping your guards up, and I understand letting go a little bit, especially if that person is showing you, hey, that's not me. I'm not like that. I want to do this and I want to do that, and I'm here to help you. I'm here to walk beside you, not in front of you or behind you or kick you when you're down, so that's kind of hard to let your guard down, and that's what it really is. It takes a lot for us to actually believe that. So a lot of us adults say that we want real love, but we actually crave a safe space. Okay. Now, real love can be a safe space if you find that right person. We want to be able to speak and not get shut down when we speak our mind. We want to be vulnerable without being punished for it. I mean, who really wants that? If I can't tell my mate or my spouse how I feel without getting some backlash, then I'm going to shut down. Like, if this is how you're going to react, what am I telling you this for? That doesn't make sense. So if you're going to react that way, then next time I have a problem, then I'm just going to be like, nothing's wrong. I'm fine. I don't want that reaction. I want to be able to say anything to my spouse or my mate, just like they can be able to say anything to me without getting all the backlash and the hoopla. So here's the truth. Emotional safety doesn't mean you'll never get hurt again. Okay? Everybody at some point in some relationship is gonna get hurt eventually. It may not be on purpose. That person may not know that this is what hurts you unless you express that to them. Okay. It just means you have to trust yourself enough to handle it without losing your balance. It's risk management. It's not risk removal. Okay. So you still have to show up. You still have to be seen. And regardless of what that person says, how they shut you down, if you need to get your point across, get your point across and let them get theirs across. But the thing is, you have to listen to understand and not listen to respond. Because if you listen to respond, it's going to come out wrong. It's going to come out negative. Even if you and your mate is in an argument, in a little dispute, before you say something out of pocket, whatever they say, sit and think about it. Even if you have to say, you know what, let me walk away from this and let me think about what I need to say or what I want to say before it comes out wrong and everything really hits the fan. Okay. It's okay to walk away and then come back later and say, hey, I heard what you said. I feel this, or I heard what you said and I don't think that this is right. Okay. So it's okay to step away and come back. And personally, I think that's more healthy to do that instead of saying something and everything goes awry. Okay. Sometimes someone loves you right and you still flinch, not because they did anything wrong, but because you remember who did. And again, that's bringing your old baggage into the new relationship, and try not to do that. That's not weakness. It's that scar, proof that you healed enough to try again. So as you get older, your idea of safety changes. So like in your 20s, safety might have meant constant communication. Now it's peace, it's consistency, it's being able to disagree without destruction. It's a person who listens to understand, not to win. I literally just said that. Someone who can't sit in your silence and not take it personal. That's adult love, steady and not flashy. Real safety isn't about never being triggered. It's about knowing you'll be heard, not punished. Again, if I say something to my spouse and he dismisses it and shuts it down, then I'm going to shut down. So again, when I have a problem that I need to address with my spouse or my mate, and I'm like, well, I'm not just going to say nothing because I know how you're going to react. Okay, it's a shared space where both people can exhale. So ask yourself, what does emotional safety look like to you? Like right now in this version of your life, what does emotional safety look like to you? Okay, because if you don't define it, someone else will, and they'll build it around their comfort, not your peace. Emotional safety isn't built overnight. It's earned. It's tested. It's protected. It's saying, I can love you and I won't lose myself doing it, because you still have to be your own self, your own person. And make sure that your peace is always number one. Okay. Now, we've all been hurt before, and probably more times than we want to admit. Okay. But healing doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means You stop letting the pain make the rules. Okay. So again, when you get into a relationship, set boundaries. Let them know, hey, I'm not willing to do that. This is a deal breaker for me. Make sure your peace is always first. Okay. So tonight, as the world quiets down, think about where you still wear that armor and whether it's keeping you safe or just keeping you lonely. Think about that and let us know in the comments what that looks like for you. It's okay to talk. Like I said, this is a judgment-free zone. We're here to help someone who is silent. You know, they're going through some things and they don't know how to handle it. They don't know where to turn. We're here to help them. So comment down below what your thoughts are. Okay. So I found an article in Psychology Today. I'm not sure what issue this is, but it is the title is Emotional Safety. What is it and why is it important? So let me read you a little bit of what this says. Key points. Emotional safety is a basic human need and an essential building block for a healthy human relationship. Emotional safety is the visceral feeling. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Is V as in Victor, ISCERAL, visceral. Okay. It is the visceral feeling of being accepted and embraced for one who truly are, for who you truly are, and what you feel and need. Feeling chronically emotionally unsafe causes intense psychological distress and often greater isolation and other more difficulty reaching out. So it says the involuntary roots of emotional safety. Why is emotional safety so important? Because it's based on the needs that's even more elemental, physically safe. For every creature on earth, the prime directive is safety. Food and procreation are important, but survival tops the list, and survival is rarely easy. To survive in an environment full of things that you can kill, you need a very well-tuned system to staying safe. It is still our most powerful instinct. What does it have to do with emotional safety? We human beings are among the most defenseless and vulnerable creatures on the planet. We have no claws, no sharp teeth, no quills, and we can't even run fast. For the first 12 years of our lives, and even more so for the first 6, we can barely protect and take care of ourselves at all. We evolve on one primary way to stay safe: staying physically close and connected to a group of other human beings. It's easy to forget this is our modern world, where we live as long as cats and still be safe and get our physical needs met. But this modern way of living is not what we're designed for. For 99.8% of the time, Homo sapiens has been on this planet living apart and disconnected from others simply wasn't possible. to stay connected and we work together for such a long period of time, usually in the past, for one's entire lives, humans need to develop a way to maintain such a close-knit system and to know when it wasn't working. That system, the thermostat for keeping the whole thing going and keeping us alive and safe, was our emotions, and still is. Our emotions, love, anger, fear, sadness, happiness, shame, disgust, are the coins we exchange to hold each other close or to tell each other when something has gone wrong to break the connection. Emotional safety for us then is tied to physical survival itself. It's very, very real and very, very deeply woven into our nature. What happens when you feel emotionally safe? When you feel emotionally safe with someone, your heart rate and respiration go down and even synchronize with the other person's. Perspiration is a sign of stress is induced. The muscles in your body relax and you're likely to express more of your thoughts and feeling, both positive and negative. You can better tolerate physical pain when they're with you. Since emotional safety is a feeling, if you have it with someone, you know what it feels like. George feels it with his little brother Tom, 2 years younger than him. He can go fishing with Tom and barely say a word for hours, but still feel totally at peace. Tom was the one person other than his wife that George turned to when his son was in the hospital and Tom came through for him. That's emotionally safe, okay? Emotionally safety with at least one person and preferably with a group of others is what you need to feel okay in your skin and to venture out on into the new and the unknown. The impact of emotional safety. If emotional safety comes from feeling loved and accepted for being who you are and feeling the way you feel, feeling emotionally unsafe comes from the opposite. Feeling that either the people who matter most to you or those whom you most depend on upon survival consider the real you and the expression of your true needs and feelings unacceptable, unlovable, even contemptible. It comes from being emotionally attacked, belittled, or simply ignored. Lack of emotional safety can also come from the simple lack of physical touch and comfort, especially when it's ignored or withheld and the need for it is denied. When you don't feel emotionally safe, you feel emotionally threatened, which causes the same bodily reactions as feeling physically threatened. You freeze, you hold your breath and tense your body. Alternatively, you may go into attack mode or you may shut down. Brain studies have shown that social rejection activates the same pain center in the brain as getting physically injured. To your brain, physical and emotional pain are particularly the same thing, and if you get back fairly quickly to feeling safe and accepted, you're essentially living in the state similar to consistent physical threat. Life is full of experiences like this, past and present. It could have happened at a previous job or in the one you're currently in. It could have happened at school, at the mercy of bullies or mean girls. It could have been in an abusive relationship, Or you could have felt emotionally unsafe all through your childhood. These experiences have psychic scars, most commonly in the form of emotional reactions that try to protect you from ever feeling that kind of pain again, or from ever risk being attacked or shunned. The very reaction that they try to shield from people from greater harm frequently lead them to become even more isolated, miserable, and danger. But to a powerful and primitive part of us dedicating to survival at all costs, these reactions, no matter how harmful they are, feel safer than emotional vulnerability. All right, night owls, that's our conversation for tonight. Drop your thoughts below and let us know how you're feeling. Be real, be kind, because someone out there may be listening who needs to know that they're not alone, that their silence can be broken. Okay? Adults After Dark is where the truth gets undressed and honesty is always welcome. Until next time, keep it grown, keep it real, keep it sexy, especially after dark. Good night, night owls.